But guys, the draft has begun. Cursed Hollow is the map. Let's get started with game number 2. First pick, first ban, going to be for Bob Ross Fan Club.
And Zagara and Tyrande are going to be the 2 bans so far. Muradin, the first pick up for Bob Ross Fan Club. All very, very standard thus far for these teams.
We'll see what TempoStorm wants to lock in. They consistently like to play heroes like Sylvanas, like Tassadar, but we did see them go with that denied pick from McIntyre last time with the Sonya. Do you think we'll see Sonya this rotation from Tempo?
It could be. If they want to ensure that they've got it, or they could go for something else with the Goku and then choose to ban it in the phase, but that would potentially leave Bob Ross other things to be able to pick up, so we'll see about that. Kael'thas going to be the choice here. And by the way, I love the ban from Bob Ross on Zagara. She's a fantastic solo laner and would have been great on Cursed Hollow anyway. Provides a lot of vision around those tribute spawns, but just the fact that TempoStorm has shown how much they love her on top of that.
No surprise to see Kael'thas there. TempoStorm thinking very hard on who they want to lock in. Sonya to deny it from McIntyre. Uther, of course, great hero, and there he is. We're going to see Ziggs on Uther again.
Does that mean we see the Sonya in here from Bob Ross?
I think we do. I think any time they've been first pick, second rotation, if Sonya was available, they've locked it in 100% of the time this tournament.
All right, we'll see if that's going to be the case. They also have another one too. Could potentially see an earlier Karazim if they want to ensure that they get that and it doesn't get banned away by TempoStorm. Tempo now with that Uther. They know that Karazim has been a big favorite for Kinma on top of it too. That's something that they could look to take away from them.
Well, we'll see. There's going to be the Jaina there again for Zuna, doing very well that last game with it. We'll see what Bob Ross wants to lock in. I mean, we do see Kenma playing Karazim so very often. He's fantastic on it. He's made so many plays, not only keeping his team alive, but securing kills for himself. And we'll see what Bob Ross wants to do. Will it be the Sonya for McIntyre, or will it be that Karazim?
And only with the Karazim has Kinma have really good play, but he shows that he has prowess with either of the heroic abilities, which is really nice too. They can be a little bit more reactionary as they go into the game, trying to decide if they need it. Hello, Kerrigan.
Hello, Kerrigan. We'll see if Bob Ross wants to potentially run her as well. We have seen McIntyre play Kerrigan a lot. You know, he's very well versed on those melee assassins. Bob Ross down to 38 seconds in their time pool.
Yeah, they're trying to figure that out, but Kerrigan would be a really nice. Jaina Kerrigan used to be a big dual pickup. A lot of teams would go for her.
There's the Sonya. McIntyre still keeping up. Again, if Sonya's open in this position, they have yet to not pick her.
Okay, now moving into the second round of bans. No Karazim, Abathur going to be the choice to take out. You don't want to have the symbiote on top of Sonya, helping out the support a little bit, also helping out the attacks. But then also the dual Jaina is something that is always on the back of the mind when you see a composition the way Bob Ross is looking.
This draft is looking almost exactly similar to a draft Bob Ross played earlier today. I don't remember who it was versus, but Fan did play Abathur on this map, and it won them that game. Fan played so very well on Abathur in that set, and it's so smart from TempoStorm to deny that. Fan, world-class Abathur player, potentially one of the best in the world.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense to be able to deny Fan from that. I believe that was up against Team Blaze. Zeratul going to be taken out from Goku too, so really wanting to limit what types of melee assassins Goku could play if he wanted to go that route.
We'll see what TempoStorm wants to lock in. The Thrall is still on the table for Tempo. Thrall, you know, he has been kind of unimpressive this tournament. There have been some great initiations from him, but his win rate is on the lower side. We'll see if TempoStorm is willing to run the Thrall versus the Sonya.
Yeah, they also still need to pick up their warrior too. Now with Muradin taken out, none other ones are banned. So Stray has an option of different things. We've seen him run some Leoric. We've seen Johanna from him too. Potentially we could have the ETC as well. And Raynor for now going to be picked up. So Raynor and Kael'thas, the big damage dealers for Tempo.
Will it be the ETC now the Raynor is taken as well? Raynor, a good soft counter to ETC with both penetrating round and a relentless leader at 13. Which we're starting to see pop up in the pro scene. We'll see what TempoStorm wants to lock in here. Will it be their last damage? Sylvanas still on the table. We know Soldier has a fantastic Sylvanas. Or will we see that melee assassin? I mean, we still have that option for Goku to see him on a bruiser. Kerrigan's on the table. We have Thrall, and there it is. Thrall's going to be picked up for Goku.
Okay, leaving the warrior until the end to see what Bob Ross come out with. If they have a lot more stuns capabilities, maybe they won't choose to run with that ETC, but leaving that up to decide after Bob Ross choose these next two heroes.
Bob Ross Fan Club, what will they lock in? Karazim is still on the table, as well as Tassadar. We've seen that combination work very well this tournament.
Yeah.
There's so much support capability, so much offensive plays you can make. There's the Karazim. Will it be the Tassadar?
I mean, why not? You get the shield on top of Sonya to be able to keep her into the battles longer. If Sonya's doing fine, you could shield others to make sure that they're able to stay in the fight. You could pre-shield using that Kala's Embrace, a talent at level 7 too, and Mental Acuity always is a great pickup as well if they want to go that route to be able to help see where TempoStorm is choosing to engage from.
Last pick for Bob Ross there, thinking hard on it. No Abathur this game for them as it was banned out. And it will be Falstad. Okay. Going to be using that to help disengage the Thrall if their Sundering goes down, as well as, I mean, we've seen him do so much damage. When you play him properly, he has an insane amount of burst.
I think they're also trying to dissuade that ETC too as well. If you went to the ETC, Mosh Pit would be pretty impossible to try to deal with that Mosh or that Mighty Gust. So instead, probably we could potentially, I guess, see the stage dive from ETC, but who is going to be the warrior for TempoStorm?
We saw them run Joanna last game, and Srey was punished pretty hard on them. You can blow up a Joanna. The problem with Joanna is she doesn't have an escape, and it will be the ETC. Now, Gilly, you just mentioned it. There's a potential that we do see stage dive. If you look at the composition for Bob Ross Fan Club, they have two interrupts between Muradin and Sonya with the Spear and the Dwarf Toss, and then of course you have the Heroic at level 10 for Falstad Mighty Gust.
Yeah, and looking at that too, I mean, it is a fairly large battleground too. It enables ETC to split push, a strategy that was
counter the
used.
Falstad.
Yeah, exactly, to counter the Falstad, and it's a strategy that used to be used quite a bit. On top of that, we used to see really great stage dives that would basically cut off the team's retreat. On top of that too, might be able to do that as well as slow down the team members that he can jump on.
Well, guys, we have our two drafts. I mean, both of these games, I feel both teams have drafted very, very well. I feel like it's going to come down. I don't feel either team has significantly won the draft in either direction, either game. It just comes down to who plays better. Bob Ross had full control of game number 1. They completely took any momentum away from TempoStorm. And we're going to see if they can do it again in this game.
Yeah, but I believe it was Cursed Hollow where TempoStorm was keeping up fairly well with Cloud9 throughout the game until the later stages of the game.
That was Tomb of Spider Queen.
Oh, dang, it was Tomb of Spider Queen. Yeah,
it's been a long day. They blur together.
They really do. Okay, well, we'll be loading into the game very close, but looking at these drafts, not feeling like either one has won it too much. Do you feel like Tempo has a chance to bring it to Game 3, Zoya?
Absolutely. I mean, they're the only team in this tournament that has taken a game off of Cloud9. Both Bob Ross and TempoStorm had very close sets versus them as well. So I definitely think that TempoStorm can come it back, but Bob Ross has the momentum in their favor. They're looking so very good right now, Gilly.
Well, the countdown has started. We will soon be loading in, and we will see if TempoStorm can bring it back versus Bob Ross, or if Bob Ross will be able to seal the deal right here in this series and move on once again to face Cloud9.
Another game where McIntyre has his Sonya. He's looked so good on him in this tournament. Guys, we're loading into the game on the right-hand side of the map in the red trunks. It's going to be Bob Ross Fan Club. McIntyre playing the Sonya, Zuna playing Jaina, Kenma on the Karazim, Fan playing Falstad, and Urho rounding out the team as that Muradin.
And playing for TempoStorm in the blue, we have Goku on Thrall, Zix playing Uther, Soldier playing the Rainer, KO on Kael'thas, and finally ETC played by Srey.
We'll see here what TempoStorm can do to try and get the momentum in their favor. That is what Bob Ross Fan Club's playstyle is, revolved around. They're very aggressive. They like to invade camps. They like to get an early start and snowball that in their favor. And the games that Bob Ross loses are games that gets denied.
Yeah, and Cursed Hollow is definitely a battleground where you can make that happen, especially if you can get the curse and start working on getting that double boss pushing against it. Getting one, making them respond to it, getting the other one, pushing with it as well. You can really force your opponents to play very reactionary.
Flame Strike coming out here from KO to try and clear out this wave. Good aggression coming out from Bob Ross to try and force them back. It looks like it's going to be Thrall versus Sonya in that top lane. Falsa's going to fly down to the bottom lane. We'll see where TempoStorm wants to send their laners. They have two really good laners on the end of Bob Ross Fan Club with Sonya and Falstad.
In the instant fly means they missed out on none of the damage. Meanwhile, Soldier taking a very safe path through the jungle. Stray in a lot of trouble already. Gravity Lap's going to stop them from being able to chase him further. Zix trying to body block as much as possible. There goes the Ancient Spear on Zix, though, into another stun, trying desperately with the face mount to push them back, but it wasn't enough. Uther going to be the first blood of this game.
Bob Ross fan club, again, doing what they do best. These invasions are always aggressive. You have to always take the safe path to avoid them, and you cannot give Bob Ross these kind of kills, because this is how they get that momentum, and they don't turn it down. But Stray coming for a gank on Fan. Will he get the barrel roll over the wall? Yes, he is just fine.
Yeah, it looked scary for a second for the power slide to come in into the body blocks, but a great barrel roll. And now KO in a lot of trouble just to get the gravity laps, but a little too late. Kenma being able to be right in front, helping out the damage from Zuna on top of it, and another kill for Bob Ross.
The aggression from Bob Ross is just so fantastic here. They get another kill. KO just barely overextending. He wasn't even trying to clear the wave. He just moved forward to make sure he got a minion and was punished so hard for it by Zuna and Urho.
And now with that, already starting a good experience lead. Nothing that TempoStorm can't come back pretty quickly, especially with the kill, but they still need to be oh so careful from this Fan. Going to barrel roll kind of aggressively into the towers there. Soldier going to be able to get away.
Feel like they should have waited until Urho got a little bit closer there. They were not able to kill that kill onto Soldier. Good avoidance there from him. Level 4 acquired here first by Bob Ross fan club. Taking a look at the talents. I'm not seeing anything too out of the ordinary, Gilly.
Nope, I totally agree with you. Karzim kind of considering his options will go for the protective shield. Has a couple of warriors to really get value out of that as well. And we should have our first tribute spawning very soon.
Zuna potentially going for a flank with his brother Kenma. They go in for the stuns onto Urho. Can they get out of here? KO in a bad spot. Zix with the body block, trying to keep KO alive, but he will go down again. And TempoStorm being picked apart.
Now Zix and Stray not able to put the finishing damage onto Urho, and the tribute has started to spawn. Meanwhile, Raynor and Falstad going at it here in the bottom lane. Fan fairly low in terms of damage, but with everyone rotating in, should be totally fine. Zuna going to be able to pick up the tribute for absolutely free.
The McIntyre goes out on the top. TempoStorm finally getting a kill of their own. Tribute did go to Bob Ross, like you said, and you know, TempoStorm, they need to find a way to force themselves back in this game. They either need to start being aggressive on their own to try and shut down the Zuna, who does tend to be very aggressive. You can try and catch him underneath the tower, or you just need to be playing just a little bit more safe.
It almost seems like they really need to just take a deep breath, realize that it's okay. They are down 1-0. The last game was pretty one-sided for Bob Ross, but they are definitely not out of it, but they need to start to stop getting caught out here. They really need to not lose any more in this attrition war here in the early stages of the game.
TempoStorm still keeping a good job of soaking here. They're only about a half level down right now as Bob Ross is just about to get those level 7 talents. It's actually a bit closer than that. It's almost like a quarter level. So despite the 3 kills to 1, TempoStorm is doing a good job of maintaining that soak. We do see that McIntyre takes the Giants right before a spawn here on the tribute. Will it be on the top side of the map or will it be on the bottom? If it's on the top, these Giants can get mad value.
There's the same thing happening for TempoStorm too, as the Giants are starting to push up in that top lane as well. So it's really going to depend where it spawns. And it is going to be nice for TempoStorm if that doesn't get cleared out, because the tribute is spawning on the bottom half of the battleground.
TempoStorm just about to get those level 7 talents as well. A lot of good talents here. I mean, Vision Bomb's so important for Kel'Thas, increasing the damage done that he does. And Raynor playing a little bit more safe with his talents.
And now here we go. Goku starting to go in. Goes into the Feral Spirit instead, right into the Gravity Laps. Urho taking a lot of damage, gets thrown back with the face ball, but it's Jaina who goes down. But Urho not really able to re-engage at all at this point. They might be able to pick this one up.
McIntyre being chased down here. It doesn't look like TempoStorm will be able to secure another kill. Just a really late rotation from Kenma. He was not there to try and save Zuna or be able to peel for Urho there. So that's going to go over to TempoStorm. Experience is very even, and now the tribute score tied 1-1.
You know, for Soldier playing on Raynor, he did get the seasoned marksman at level 1, but went ahead at level 7 and got fight or flight for more of the safety pick there. The fact that you're able to activate it yourself, and it gives you resistant, 25% less damage taken for, I believe, about 4 seconds. That's really nice to be able to have, especially from the burst damage that comes out from Sonya and Jaina, even Falstad.
Yeah, a bit of a different change up there, because usually you do see that give me more compared with it at level 1 instead, but he is going to go for the seasoned marksman. It's cool to see Soldier change up this build here in this matchup. Level 9 almost here for Bob Ross Fan Club. TempoStorm about a half level behind there, and that's going to give Bob Ross Fan Club a nice advantage here. Oh, the invasion's coming. Can they get on the point? Zuna fan flies in, and they have to give up these bruisers.
But a great job at disengaging in time from TempoStorm. They definitely could have lost Goku there, but he was able to get out. It's not the end of the world. They do need to be cognizant of the fact that a tribute is spawning as the bruisers are pushing into their base too. It is the defended position for Bob Ross, so it looks like Tempo might just choose to just give this one up.
Yeah, they have to. With Bob Ross having the experience lead, with having to deal with these two pushing bruisers in the mid lane, and on their middle keep as well, they're just going to give that up. Kenma with the cap there, but TempoStorm has gotten themselves a slight experience lead, but Bob Ross starting the boss in the top right. Well, how will TempoStorm respond?
They know about this. They have to know there's nobody on the battleground at all, and instantly they start their own boss. Great pickup there, great knowledge and sense of the fact that this is taking place.
Urho aggressively rotating down with Fan to try and contest the boss in the bottom left of TempoStorm, but it doesn't look like the rest of Bob Ross wants to push with it, as Zuna, Kenma, and McIntyre are going to push with their own boss.
Okay, now the bottom boss starting to be picked up. Fan going to rotate down to the bottom, push out that lane as much as possible to delay that boss and allow them to get a better amount of damage done with their boss than that TempoStorm will get done.
We'll see what they can do with this push as the tribute is spawning in the bottom left. Heroics have been picked up. Phoenix, Hyperion, Divine Shield, Sundering, and Mosh Pit going to be the choices for Tempo.
Karazim once again, or Kenma doing once again a mind trick for a bit, but does end up grabbing Divine Palm. We figured that would probably be the case because of the fact that they don't have the task guard this time to help them out with the support.
Oh, aggressive leap there from Urho. He's very overextended from the rest of his team. Stray goes for the stun. Nice Sundering from Goku to disengage for the rest of his members. Avatar has been popped from Urho. Ken 6 and Surrey reposition himself. Zuna's getting very low. Nice heals from Kenma at the last second. Hyperion not going to be able to secure that kill. Fan getting very low himself. Has to back up for his team. I think TempoStorm should be able to win this out, but nice heals from Kenma right now. It looks like Bob Ross is going to be able to force their way back into this, and if they can get in here, that is going to be a curse for Bob Ross.
Now Goku having trouble being separated so much from the rest of the team, and gets a stun, but does have Divine Shield, and now Stray trying to come in. A Mosh Pit goes down. Divine Palm, they're waiting it out, waiting to be able to take him out, and
Nice
great job,
timing.
Urho goes down.
Urho's going to fall. Divine Palm not proccing. KO getting very low, trying to kill off Fan there. 1-for-1 exchange right now. Zuna's going to fall to Soldier and Stray. He's trying to cut himself back. Kenma's caught in a bad position. Does he have enough mana for a dash? He's trying to keep himself alive, but he's going to fall. A 3-for-1 exchange in favor of TempoStorm, and they're going to get themselves that tribute.
I love that they left the tribute to go for the fight. They knew once they got that one takedown on Urho that they could continue on and get a little bit more of a lead before picking up the tribute. Now they finally have the experience lead once again, and for being behind for a little bit, having a shaky start to this game, they've really clawed their way back.
Well, we do see what TempoStorm can do. They finally have a slight experience lead here as we're getting closer to that level 13 as both teams are about to have level 12. Stray going to keep soaking this middle lane with his team. Everyone is up on the end of Bob Ross. And if we take a look at the Heroics, almost everything is going to be up for that team, but we still have a long way to go on Mosh Pit. 60 seconds until it's up.
By the way, I totally have to give a shout out to Goku because that was a really cool Sundering to see at the beginning of the fight. How he came in from the side and was able to throw TempoStorm, split them wide open, and from there be able to get that first kill on Urho, no less, on Muradin, who was super tanky and hard to be able to take out that quickly.
This is going to be a cool push here for TempoStorm on the top end as those Giants are spawning as the tribute is spawning in the bottom, but Fan did get his as well, so those are going to be pushing as well. A lot of damage going on the Stray. Protective Shield goes out. Phoenix uses the zone out. A Water Elemental has been used so far. TempoStorm will be able to clear that up. Chain Lightning should be able to interrupt Fan from the cap here. It's a curse for both teams. Both teams getting very close to 13. KO taking a lot of damage from McIntyre, but he's being forced back. TempoStorm doing a great job catching Zuna in a root. Will Stray be able to re-engage? He still has 15 seconds on that Mosh Pit.
They did a fantastic job of waiting out the Water Elemental on top of that too, so that is down. It's a long cooldown. It will not be here for the rest of this fight, but we do still have the Mighty Gust should they, Bob Ross find themselves in a difficult position here on top of that, and they could even try to use it aggressively to be able to jump on top of them with the big slow that goes with it.
Water Elemental down for 35 seconds. Everything is up for the rest of the members, and this is a big tier for KO as he just got chain bombed.
Yeah, 13 has arrived for TempoStorm, and it's not here yet for Bob Ross. They're doing absolutely everything they can. They want to be able to zone, but it's just not enough. They may lose people on top of this. There's the Divine Palm once again, but they're waiting it out. A great hammer of justice doesn't take him out and allows them to be able to get the kill once again on Muradin.
That is twice now they have killed the target the moment Divine Palm ends. Sundering comes out on Fan, the stun's there, and 2 kills suddenly for TempoStorm while having a curse.
Yeah, with the 2 kills, they really want to get as much done. They are not going for force. They're going to go here, force the response here, and allow their minions to push elsewhere. They've got that huge minion push top that we saw even before the start of the tribute fight is still going on. The minions are starting to move onto the mid fort, and they're working on getting these towers moving up in terms of experience.
I don't know if TempoStorm can get this keep here. They still have a lot of heroics up, though. Falstad's about to be up. It's going to be a 5 vs 5, still no 13. The mosh pit does not go down just yet. Urho popping Avatar. A lot of damage going on the front line, too. Shrey, Zix doing the best he can to keep him up. A good disengage, and Karazim going to be the first to fall.
They should start to move back in there. They still have Phoenix up for a little bit longer, and Hyperion did so much to that keep, and that will be it. First keep of the game, but Stray wants to get more. Divine Shield goes down on him. Mighty Gust to disengage. The keep incredibly low will fall.
Nice first keep of the game going over to TempoStorm, and they've secured suddenly with that curse. The Giants from before were still pushing top lane, and suddenly out of nowhere, TempoStorm with a 3-level lead and has 16 tier, Gilly.
They are so, the Giants were completely healthy and took out both of the towers. They're on top two. The power of that curse. Yes, with one tribute, Bob Ross could pick up a curse of their own, but you mentioned it, a 3-level lead. It's going to take them so long to try to fight back into this game.
Yeah, they're just about to get themselves level 14, 2 levels until they're on the same tier as TempoStorm, but both bosses have just spawned Gillyweed, and TempoStorm is evading the boss of Bob Ross.
Yeah, they're looking around to see if maybe they can catch somebody out at that point. For now, going to choose to steal the bruisers, giving Bob Ross a taste of their own medicine, really, and being able to pick these up.
Yeah, there's really aggressive rotations coming out from TempoStorm. Bob Ross on the boss of TempoStorm in that bottom left there, and TempoStorm realizing that this is probably going on, they're going to go ahead and push this front wall, and it looks like it's going to be a trade. Will TempoStorm be willing to commit to this key?
Yeah, they're going to start to work on it. They've already moved in. The towers are down. The gate is open. The boss has been picked up, and the backs are happening to keep halfway down. Fan probably going to use the Mighty Gust. There is to push the back, but they still have the bruisers nice and healthy. They're going to throw down the Phoenix. Will that be enough? Chain Lightning goes out as well, and yes, that will be it. Hyperion just to make sure, and the second keep eliminated.
2 keeps down. They did give up that boss in the bottom left there. It's done work to that tower or fort, and it's going to take that down, so it's going to start pushing into the keep soon. Now TempoStorm has a hard call to make. Do they go defend against the boss pushing their bottom keep, or do they contest the boss in the top right where Bob Ross is positioned?
Well, they know that they still have the level 16. I love this idea, and McIntyre could be in a ton of trouble. There's the Sundering. McIntyre and Kinma on the opposite side of the rest of the team. This time the Divine Palm does connect, but Sonya has still been taken down. Now they get Kinma on top of it. Goku going after Fan and Airho.
2 members dive there from Bob Ross, and this should confirm TempoStorm getting themselves this top boss, and it's going to be on an exposed keep that's already taken some damage. This is going to be a big play here for TempoStorm, but look at this bottom lane, Gilly.
Yeah, the boss has been able to completely take out both of the towers. Zuna rotating in aggressively, trying to help the boss. Yeah, I love this call as well. To get the Giants and the boss down, we want to get another keep of their own. That would mean that Catapults will be pushing against the Catapults against them too, but the boss was picked up by TempoStorm, and they're already going in to push on top of the keep, allowing the boss to go for core instead.
This is a triple keep, Gilly. All 3 keeps that are down for Bob Ross, and they have a full health boss pushing with this. The curse is available for Bob Ross to potentially get themselves the final tribute they need for that curse. The keep hasn't fallen for TempoStorm, but can TempoStorm potentially go for the core here?
No, they're looking for it. They want to be able to pick up the win right here. They know that this is so difficult for Bob Ross to try to come back from the triple keep, and they know they don't have the 16, and on top of that, McIntyre just gets taken out.
McIntyre immediately annihilated. Hyperion goes out onto the core. The boss is still very, very healthy. Fan doing the best he can to clear it up. Power Slide goes to connect on Urho. He gets stunned by Zix, but a nice Divine Palm from Kemba at the last second, but the core is falling 95%, and it is dropping so fast, and I think TempoStorm has done it with Catapults joining in the push. That is going to be it. We have a tied series, ladies and gentlemen.
TempoStorm bringing it back in a super one-sided game, especially once they got to that one curse. It looked so fantastic before. It was very close with Bob Ross, but they made so much happen in that one curse, never letting Bob Ross come back from it.
It looked like TempoStorm was going to have another game like Sky Temple initially. Bob Ross got a very quick 3 kills, leading it to a 4-1 lead at one point, but then TempoStorm just suddenly found the momentum they needed to. They got that curse. They were able to win these long sustained fights, and then out of nowhere, that 3-level lead. That was really well played there from TempoStorm. Good shot calling from both Shrey and as well as Zuna. That call he made to go push that bottom keep when they had, they were down 2 members. They couldn't contest anything else. They did a really good play. If he would have gotten that and they would have been able to salvage that, that would have been a great play from Zuna. So him doing a good job of trying to make the best of a bad situation.
Yeah, that was a really great call. Unfortunately, it just wasn't quite enough. By that point, they had just lost so much to TempoStorm. And TempoStorm now riding the momentum, may be able to pick this back up. It's 1-1, winner of the next game, going on to Cloud9. But guys, we're going to take a short break to get that set up. Don't go anywhere.